So today I'll be breaking down some of the most iconic, underrated, and cult classic hip-hop films of all time. These movies represented not just music, but the culture, the struggle, the fashion, and just the hip-hop legends. Let's get into it. Alright, so quick breakdown before we rank these. Biopics, the come-up stories, the legends. Street dramas, gritty, raw, all hustle. Coming of age, chill vibes, growing up in the culture. Now, let's rank these. Man, just looking at 8 Mile. So, to me, 8 Mile is the blueprint for hip-hop movies. 8 Mile gave us raw motion, mom spaghetti, epic battle scenes. Eminem's story, is loosely based off of this movie. It captured, his hunger, the doubt of his his whole come up, the fire that made him like an underdog in hip hop. Whether you rap or not, this film was made to give you that feeling to keep going. This set the bar super duper high. I feel like they had a good budget to make the movie, good soundtrack. It just set the bar so high in so many levels. I don't think any other hip hop film has reached this magnitude. So, with all that being said, 8 Mile is just too important. You know what I'm saying? It started too much for what's coming behind it. So, I'm gonna give 8 Mile. That's the S tier, man. That's the best of the best. ATL. Okay, I want to jump to ATL. T.I. This was T.I.'s first big screen moment, and it turned into a cult classic. Around this time period, this was the biggest thing out. ATL showed the other side of hip hop. It showed Southern culture, the skating rings, family dynamic growing up in a, an unorthodox family structure. The story is simple but effective, backed by strong performances, and the true Atlanta culture was captured. It's one of those coming to the age stories. You had Big Boy in it, had T.I., a lot of famous actors. Lauren London was in it. It was just a cultural phenomenon. They had an incredible budget too. These are movies that weren't cheap movies, and they were high quality, in the theater type level hip hop movies. And this one to me shaped the South, it not shaped the South, but it just spoke to the people that was in the South and gave them a real representation of what was going on at that time. But this one though, ATL, I'm gonna have to go for ATL, man. I'm gonna go A tier. I know people are gonna be mad. They might say that should be an A. We got another one. Okay, let's go. Notorious. So this one's interesting. Obviously, this is a biopic, and the other two have been loosely based. But it's just gonna be hip hop inspired movies. So this Notorious is actually the first biopic. But this movie in general, I felt like it did a great job of just showing how much bigger than life Biggie was, and this movie aimed to show that. It walks through his rise, his trials, his tribulations, his tragic ending. Jamal Woolard, I think it's the guy who did it. I think he did a great job just embodying, Biggie. And while this movie plays it safe to me at times, it gives fans a deeper nostalgic look into Biggie, his family structure and just his entire life. I do think they played it safe, but I still feel like it was well produced. It wasn't corny. It wasn't overly corny, as his counterpart. We're gonna get to that later. But yeah, man, this Biggie movie, I had this on DVD. I used to love watching this. But yeah, just based on what we got, man, I'm gonna go for this Biggie. It's a B tier, guys. If you're rocking with content like this, Hit that like and subscribe to the video. I drop every single day. It's a B tier. It's not quite those two, but it's up there. Y'all can debate with me in the comments. The next one we got is Devin and the Dude. Now this movie, no, I say Devin and the Dude. I mean, Mac and Devin go to high school. I'm tripping. What's crazy is they somehow got us to believe that Snoop Dogg was a high schooler. In this movie, it was Snoop and Wiz, two different dudes in high school. They took like a stoner comedy route and delivered a fan favorite. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen it in 15 plus years, but we were watching this in high school. The plot isn't super deep, but it's carried by the chemistry and a good soundtrack. It's definitely one of those not to be taken too serious type of movies. But to me, it still wins the fans over with just like the nostalgic, just how nostalgic that these times feel, just looking back on it. But I'm going to give this one, I'm going to put this in the B tier. I feel like it's a B tier for sure. B tier. Let's get to Straight Outta Compton. So, with Straight Outta Compton, they did a powerful job retelling NWA's rise to fame, how they basically had to reshape hip hop at that point in time. The performances to me are pretty much on point with O'Shea playing his dad. I think he did an incredible job. Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying, playing his dad. It blended a good history and like the social commentary of what was going on at that time. And I felt like even when it dropped, the culture rocked with it so much. People was making Straight Outta t-shirts, all type of waves that came from the release of this movie. I feel like it did a good job showing the West Coast at that time, but like I said, the survivors are the ones that are able to tell the story, and a lot of the pushback that people had was that it didn't really tell Eazy-E's story the way that he might have told it. But overall, I feel like it was such a cultural moment that, to me, I'm putting it on A tier. So, Straight Outta Compton, A tier. So we got ATL and Straight Outta Compton, A tier. Cool. That makes sense. All right. Hustle and Flow. Now this is one that isn't like based on an artist or an actual real character, but this embodied the culture. The soundtrack of this was probably one of the best soundtracks. You know, It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp. This movie basically came out of nowhere and won an Oscar. Terrence Howard, this is when he became Terrence Howard. His passion, and it was very believable with the story of a small town hustler trying to make it and take his pain out music, you know what I'm saying? And it resonated with everybody that was chasing their dreams. It's a southern soulful, and I feel like they did a good job of making it, like producing it as well. So for this one, for me, this came out over a long time ago, so I get why it might fall in the background, but for that time period, this was everything. For that, to me, I'm putting this on A tier. This is A tier. Hustle and Flow, A tier. And let me not forget, Ludacris was in this movie too. So I put this Wu-Tang Clan and American Saga on here, even though it's a show. Technically a series, but it earns a spot for just being a hip-hop product, you know. It captured the essence of Wu-Tang Clan and how the group was the formation of the group. It's slow in a lot of parts, but when it hits, I would say it's pretty good. RZA had a good vision of the personalities he wanted for the show, and I feel like they put some details in it. It's not a movie per se, but I feel like at that time it was a cool thing to have in the culture. Capture for me, it's gonna have to be a C for me, guys. It's gonna be in the worst tier. I'm putting it in the worst tier for sure. And now let's go to Juice. Juice. So Juice is a story about looking into the street life, friendships, pursuit of power. Juice to me made Tupac a superstar. Like his performance as Bishop, I feel like it's so layered and unforgettable. The film explores what it means to have control or the juice, and how like you can corrupt that. Like you can have this power, you can use it for bad real quick. And I feel like its influence on hip hop culture is deep, from the fashion, the slang. I just think Pac went crazy, like just on the acting tip. Like it's just, to me, he did an incredible job on this one, and I think it's just a huge cultural timestamp. And for that, my people, it is a S tier, guys. I'm putting this at the S tier. Yes, sir. How high? Okay, this is how high. All right. Okay, Redman and Method Man. They created the ultimate stoner movie comedy, like college stoner comedy for that time period. You know what I'm saying? It's super duper outrageous. It's hilarious. It's full of quotables. It doesn't try to be like overly serious. It just wants you to light up and laugh, you know. Still one of the most iconic pairings of like a hip hop cinema, you know, like they used to play this all the time. I want to say VH1 or maybe even BET, but like this was one of them like culture movies, and I'm saying this all throughout this list, but like this is why I settle with these movies. This one right here was like culture. It's like lookbook, you know, what they were wearing, what they were saying. The whole entire aesthetic of this movie is what carries it the most, and like it being a comedy as well. So for this one, man, woo, I'm going to put how high. This is a B tier, guys. It's a B tier. You know, I feel like high quality production. It's not a, you know what I'm saying? It's not to be taken serious, you know. Alrighty, guys, man. Next up, we got Get Rich or Die Trying. I would say out of all these, I don't think I was tapped into any movie as much as Get Rich or Die Trying. This movie was creative, it was personal, and drenched in the early 2000s energy, you know what I'm saying, capturing 50 Cent's like a fictional spin on 50 Cent's life, you know. The street politics, the loyalty, the loss, heartbreak, you know what I'm saying. That, to me, the soundtrack on this was iconic, like window shopper. I mean, there was just so much depth in the characters, you know, people backstabbing them, but they riding one of them in the back, you know, like, and it's one of those films like where you feel the ambition through the screen. 50 Cent did his thing, you know. They produced as well. They captured his time when he was just like on fire. This one is S tier. It's up there with the best of the best. S tier. Man. Alright, we got Belly. It's obviously has Nas and DMX. To me, this movie was more of a visual, and like it was visually stunning. Probably the best visuals of any hip hop movie in history. It was directed by Hype Williams. It had a crazy aesthetic, wild plot twists, unforgettable moments. There's charisma behind the characters, but like as a film head, the script isn't there to be like S tier. But like, I just think they did such a good job with the aesthetics. Like Hype Williams, he took it to a whole new universe with that. So, with that being said, this is B tier for me. B tier. I'm gonna put this B tier. All right. The next one we're gonna do is All Eyes on Me. Well, obviously we love Tupac and the ambition, like everything that Tupac did. Like we want to know his entire life. This Tupac biopic, it didn't do it, man. It didn't capture enough of who Tupac was. The performance had moments, but the pacing and writing didn't quite hold up to where the standard of where it needed to be. Like I would have been fine if this was just like Notorious level. Like this is definitely a tier under, no doubt. Like the visuals connect to his story, and it's cool. He looked like Tupac, but he's one of them guys that might need a docu-series. He might need a 4-hour movie like the Jackson 5 movie, but I don't feel like this one did what it needed to do. So we love Tupac, man, but this is this is D tier. That's D tier, guys. Hate me in the comments. But we got one more. Paper Soldiers. This one, okay, so this one is not super duper. I'm putting it in the like ATLs of the worlds, the Bellies, the Mac and Devins. So it's not actually like about hip hop, but all of these hip hop artists are in it. So a lesser known indie gem that to me it resonates with street level realism. It's a hood classic. It tells a story of brotherhood, survival, loyalty, set in a world most rap lyrics try to describe. So that's why it's on this list. And if you're into gritty, low budget, this one is for you. And that one also is going to be B tier. Okay guys, thank y'all. What do you think about my list? Did I mess up? Where do you see the spot that needs correcting the most? But to round it off, I got 8 Mile, Juice, Get Rich at S tier, which is the best tier. A tier, I got ATL, Straight Outta Compton, Hustle and Flow. B tier, I got Notorious, Mac and Devin, How High, Paper Soldiers. C tier, I got Wu-Tang, I got Belly. And D tier, I got All Eyes on Me. Hey, in the comments, man, put your list in there. If you're not rocking with my list, if you love my list, let me know. And I'll see you on the next one.